John Brown. I don't know if he's gonna make it or not. We shall see.
Hi.
All right.
Hey,
So,
everybody,
what's up?
how's it
hey.
going?
Hey, Englentine, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Haven't talked to you in a while. What's up?
I haven't seen you in like 3 weeks.
I haven't seen you since last stream.
Oh my gosh, yes. Long time. And we're going to be talking about Stan Lee, so wow.
Yeah. So here we are. Welcome back, Pixel Nation. Comics Division and Friends is here. How's everybody doing?
Doing well, actually. Doing very well. That was very cathartic, by the way.
It really was, man. You have no
Talking
idea.
about the comic. I recommend everybody go through their comment section on a live stream just to tear it apart. I think it's kind of therapeutic.
Therapeutic, gotcha. And hey, James Hayes, thank you very much for hanging out with me rather than EVS, because I'm sure he does have a lot more viewers than I do.
Wait, EVS is doing a stream again? Wow.
I guess that's
They do.
I
People
thought-
do streams so randomly.
Actually, I know Diversity in Comics is doing a stream right now too, if I recall.
Really? No
I think he's
kidding.
streaming right now.
He never does streams.
I know, right? It's so
Who
weird.
does yeah, he does, like, you know, I've always wondered what a stream would be like. Just some guy. Like, I've always been curious as to what he would be like on a stream.
He's just some guy.
Yeah,
I've streamed with him before.
I haven't seen him do a lot of streams. I think he's like a couple. That's really been about it.
Yeah, he does like to get high and belligerent, and if he mixes it with alcohol, he becomes violent. You can hear him kicking his cat all over the place. It's kind of ridiculous, but entertaining in a weird, I wish I was someplace else kind of way. Yeah.
So what you're saying is,
So what I'm saying is he's just normal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's normal. Right on. So tonight, a few bit more people than advertised. Corrupt is here. We have Englentine from I Love Comics, and we have Z Connection.
Yes.
So basically a bunch of people I've been promising to do a stream with, which also includes John Brown, who is not here, but maybe later. Who knows? So we were going to be talking about ComicChron numbers and Stan Lee. Which topics do you guys want to delve into first?
ComicChron numbers?
ComicChron numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, ComicChron numbers. Yeah.
Let me see if I can make this share work. Here we go. Yes, I just want to share that. And there we go. All right. So hopefully everybody sees my screen.
Let me see. Yeah. Yep. Oblivion song. I've heard about that.
Yeah, I have like the first 2 issues. I need to read it like everything else.
Dark Knight's Metal is kicking it. Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, so yeah, at the top we have, Dark Knight Metal, which is really no surprise, right? And the one that I guess is, I wouldn't say it's a bit of a shocker, I kind of knew this was coming, is Spider-Man number 797, which is the reason why that number is high is because of the speculation with Nanite Carnage.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Shit, I need to pick that up because that's gonna be worth some fucking money. Oh,
Good luck. Now it's going to cost you some money now. If you're picking up 797 now, the whole point is that they went in, they bought it to put on eBay because Bleeding Cool said, "Hey, this is going to be worth money. You better buy it."
Yeah. Yes, and yeah, James Hayes, I agree with you. The one that shocked me was Weapon H being up there. It's like, is that book really that popular? Almost.
I didn't even know people so read. I didn't even know people so read with the Weapon H stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I do the top 10s on the weekly. Weapon H was.
Hey
no,
guys.
there's
There.
Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
No problem.
Yeah, I was in the middle of playing something with my friends. I didn't realize we already started the stream.
No problem.
Oh, sorry, I'm laughing at Eric.
Was,
That's funny, dude.
no, you know what? Don't worry about it because I'm late. I'm late because Englentine was helping me through my violent drug addiction. So don't worry about it.
Yes. I was telling him what drugs to take to become more violent, and it kind of cancels it out because, you know, once you get so rage, you just fall asleep.
And then and then I've reached like sort of like weird meditative state. Yeah.
Hey, it's Maranya.
Yes. Hello, Maranya.
What's up, Maranya?
Hello.
Okay, so Z Connection. Was there anything in particular you were wanting us to kind of point out?
I like how Batman White Knight, it's still in the top 10. So Sean and Gordon Murphy. I do hope whatever happens with him after when he finishes White Knight, like what book is he gonna go on next?
He has his own
Does
like
anyone have
universe, right?
That's
really?
the rumor. Yeah, that he'll be getting his own universe or something like that.
The one that gets me is and the one that I would say does not deserve to be there is the Infinity Countdown. That book sucked.
That's not the shards, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that reminds
No,
me-
that's not the Sharks. No, the Sharks one was a couple of weeks ago. It wouldn't be in ComicChron right now.
That one, yeah, that one was Shards of Infinity.
That was the pregnant Nova person. That
Oh
was
my
that-
God! What?
Oh, I heard about that.
It is.
That's fucking hilarious. I want to buy that just for that.
I don't think these people realize that if you're trying to push pregnant women as superheroes and they fight, that is not realistic. I don't think these people
No.
have ever had kids in their life.
Yeah, it's like have you ever met a woman that is like close to term like that? It's like, yeah,
She
they
can karate chop your
barely
ass.
want to move, let alone fight villains. It's fucking stupid.
I don't understand what this is. What are they trying to do? Empower women that are going to have kids? I don't understand what they're going at about this angle. It's just I don't know. They're just weird. They're not all
Yeah,
there,
it's a low point,
obviously.
definitely.
That was not
Like,
good. Looking at
geez.
these numbers there, I am kind of liking the fact that starting at the bottom here, you've got the Flash, detective, action. It looks like this is very much well, I guess you got some Marvel here
Yeah,
as
I
well.
noticed,
I guess it isn't even, but
I noticed there's like 4 or 3 Avengers titles they put out like monthly. Marvel just seems to flood the market. They're just hoping whatever sticks.
Yeah, they do.
Daredevil was good
Yeah.
though.
Okay,
It wasn't a bad.
I've got to admit something now. Honestly, when you told me that Infinity Countdown was the one with the pregnant Nova, I actually bought it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That. Let's send all the pregnant women in combat.
That's so fucking
people, you know.
awful and stupid. Like, I kind of feel like that's what some of these buys are. They're just, I want to just buy this and laugh at this.
Oh, that reminds me. My mother gifted me a copy of Mighty Thor #1, you know, from Marvel Generations with Unworthy Thor.
That sounds amazing.
Okay.
I got it from She got it from GameStop for $4
Okay,
on
now
clearance.
as weird as that is, what is weirder is the segue that led you to pregnant women in combat to your mom. I want to hear that thought.
Maybe,
My mother's was very overprotective about me when she was pregnant,
so,
Okay.
so
which
I
is a
have this
perfect
image.
opposite to this character.
I have this image in my head of your mom like fighting off doctors and shit, trying to get near you when she's pregnant. She's just like, fuck away from me.
Well, well, I have a funny story related to that.
That's
When she was if you guys don't mind me selling it,
go ahead.
when she was pregnant with me and when she was like getting close to labor and they had to take her to the hospital so that she could get ready for the birthing process, the doctor and my dad were watching football and they were like watching over her, and it was like during the game, and she was like, they were like both staring at her, just like, okay, play the game. And then they were like, they both like turned on the TV to the game, and the nurse was like, how dare you can't both watch the game while she's in labor? And my mom was like, dude, I said they could watch it. We're all watching it together. And the nurse just paused for a second and instantly bolted out the door.
Okay, so real
my
quickly,
mom's
I
great.
got to address this comment. This is pretty funny. So this is coming from Rex. Marvel is like a fly stuck in a car. You can roll down the window, and the bastard still can't fly out. Okay, so Z Connection. What else were you wanting to point out with the numbers
yeah,
here?
I wanted to point
yeah,
out about comic. I screenshotted this, so let me find the numbers for. Okay, I know a lot of people have been talking about Eric Larson, what he says on Twitter, and all this other stuff. Can we talk about the recent numbers of Savage Dragon and where they're at right now? Let's talk about that. Do you guys want to hear?
Yes.
yeah,
Do
sure.
you want?
Let me
Let's
find
hear.
them. Where,
I have to bring up this PR disaster that he's been doing with what's that chick's name or whatever, Michelle Perez,
Michelle
whatever.
Perez. Oh my god.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna tell you guys this PR disaster, what it's done for Eric Larson. He's only sold 3,799 copies.
Okay,
of
well,
Savage Dragon.
I gotta say one thing though. I got this. He has to at least get out the baldest,
There we go.
beautiful fucking copy issue of Savage Dragon. Englentine knows what I'm talking about. I need that
Yeah.
because that completes my roast of Savage Dragon.
I just could not help.
Oh,
but
you need
point
that?
This out.
I need that issue.
Yeah, I did a video I shared with you guys, and
Yeah, but like, was that? I didn't think that issue was
Rocko's
out.
Modern Life. I didn't know that was a comic. They had comics of Rocco's Modern Life.
Englentine, I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah,
issue
I just heard about that recently too.
That actually.
Okay.
This
I
The
got hang on. I got a question for you guys. So what was Savage Dragon selling at before? I mean,
Like
it seems like it
5,000
was.
or something, right?
So it dropped like 1,300
I think,
or
like
12,
I think it was.
1,200?
I think it was supposed to. I think it was selling a little bit, at least like at 5,000. 232. God damn it! I need 233 because 233 is the bald is beautiful fucking issue, man.
Oh god.
To
just thought-
give a little more information, what he's talking about is it's an issue of Savage Dragon. On the cover, you have Savage Dragon with his face covered with shaving cream, and on his shoulder is his 12-year-old Asian wife with shaving cream on her crotch. And it says bald. She's wearing a T-shirt that says "Bald is beautiful."
Oh, okay, yeah.
and no panties and no bra. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most just cringy shit you've ever seen, and like the inside of the book.
I'm trying to I can't even process that site, man. It's like coming out weird for me.
That Englentine show, like again, Englentine, did you show the issue or were you showing
I showed some panels from the issue and a whole bunch of the panels from issues prior to show that the comic book really became a porn comic, because there are scenes where it's Ashley my daughter's here.
Oh boy.
There are scenes of oral sex. There's scenes where a demon is banging the patriotic chick. There's just three ways. This really has become a porn comic, and he draws the wife, who's supposed to be an adult Asian woman, as a 12-year-old kid, always in a schoolgirl uniform.
So here's something I also mentioned to Englentine in a DM. Not only is she drawn that way, but she also acts.
Yeah.
She also acts that way too. She acts like a typical. She acts like a 15-year-old girl sometimes, or 12-year-old girl.
He says he's got an Asian wife, and he modeled it after her. I'm thinking.
Oh wait, Larson has an Asian wife?
That's what he told me.
So,
but I'm thinking if that's the way his wife was acting, he definitely met her on the walking street in time.
I won't lie. This is starting to sound like it is a fetish comic.
Like it
Well,
does.
that's the thing that sucks about it, man. I mean, Savage Dragon used to be a good book back in the 90s, so it's like
Even though it was
What the hell
saturated to
happened?
hell with like appearances and everything. Remember all the crossovers with Youngblood?
God, it did have a lot of
Oh,
crossover with
jeez.
him. Oh,
Yeah.
one of my favorites was the ninja. What's the Nazi ninjas? Which were
Nazi
ninjas.
ninjas.
They were ninjas that were they were like a sect of Nazis that were also ninjas that were cyborgs.
Tell me if they're vampires, and this would be an awesome crossover with Hellsing Ultimate.
So what's awesome about the Nazi ninjas though were that they didn't care what your race was. Like they were gonna convert this little this black chick who willingly joined them into a Nazi ninja. She's gonna become a cyborg like them.
Oh my God, James Hayes just brought something up. Do you guys remember the Savage Dragon cartoon?
Yes.
There was a
Oh,
Savage
God.
Dragon cartoon.
Yes, there was.
Yeah. The opening.
I've heard about it, but I
Plans
never
for a
watched it.
Youngblood cartoon.
There was a young
There
blood
was.
cartoon.
Yeah.
There was
Seriously?
Yeah, there was.
Yep.
There was the second season, the second opening for the Savage Dragon cartoon was completely fake news though, because it was actually interesting to look at. It was cool.
Yeah.
as shit.
Savage Dragon best quote num num.
What is
Yes.
regression?
And Mark Waid was a good writer in the 90s too.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
I think what happened is they all did like way too much cocaine or something like that, and burned out the reason circuits or something. I don't know.
I always get this weird feeling. I know Eric Larson likes to always obsess with hating on people that are religious. I think he hates on them so much is probably because the Bible sold more copies than his Savage Dragon book in its entirety.
Well, the
I
Bible
just can't help
sold,
but to point that out.
not to be the actually guy, but actually, the Bible sold more copies than any book.
Yep.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Eric Larson.
And that would imply that they were actually sold.
Oh,
Forced
I
on
like
everyone.
that. Eric Larson is like
offense.
this.
Let's talk about that.
Eric Larson is so fucking bitter though. Damn.
Yeah, if you want to get blocked by him, just bring up the fact that the Asian girl in Savage Dragon is 12 years old, and he does not like that.
Apparently, with him, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, what's really funny about that, because I've seen his I used to follow his because I follow his Twitter a little bit to look at the cringy shit he posts. He'll block you pretty quickly. Like somebody argued with him about an issue in the book, and then he said something to them and blocked them. Like he'll block you quick as shit for like the stupidest things. Like issues like if you dislike something he did in the book, he'll block you. He just does not care.
I think
Okay.
I think it's time that Eric Larson, he needs to just let go of Savage Dragon. It's not relevant. Not to
Totally.
me, it's not relevant as it
It's not
once
relevant
was.
to anybody. Really.
And all these, I just find it funny. You have all these indie books just crushing Savage Dragon. It's just, I don't know. The character doesn't matter no more. Not to me.
Okay,
No.
this actually makes me sad. I see the Terrifics, man. That's really low. That's unfortunate.
Wait,
That
my
was actually a
volume's
pretty
low?
good book. No. I said the Terrifics. They're pretty low in sales. They're at 298, which is unfortunate because that's a good book, the Terrifics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think ENGLENTINE told me about that.
yeah. They're not doing too well, guys. In all
Yeah.
honesty,
Oh, and I guess we could also
DC New Age of Heroes.
Wait, they're not doing well? Like, say that over again, ENGLENTINE?
The DC
Oh yeah, I
New
was
Age of
also going to
Heroes.
bring up Captain America is also in 40th place, and Invincible Iron Man is in 50th place. I don't know. When I look at that, that's really low. Like Mark Waid has just dragged Captain America through the mud. And I don't know did you guys see an image? I saw a preview. One of my friends, Nurgle, tweeted this out. I guess there's a preview of Coates when he works on Captain America. It actually shows Hydra going up against Antifa.
Yeah.
Wow, somebody
I
should make a
shit you
video
not.
about that.
What?
I think Eglinton, you should make a video.
Wait,
on
wait,
that.
I think I will.
No, there.
Oh
Look
my
it up.
god!
Look it up.
It's like
Hydra,
Hydra goes up against.
hold on. I gotta
and-
process this. Hydra, he's going to have Antifa in the book, and Antifa fighting Hydra. God.
Yes.
Well,
I would
Hydra
find it
supporters.
hilarious. I would find it hilarious if there's a line where a Hydra agent goes up to an Antifa guy and they're like, "We may be Nazis, but you guys are the real fascists."
Yeah, I can see that. Yo, comics. What were you saying, Englentine? You said something about the New Age of Heroes.
Yeah, the New Age of Heroes is not doing as well as we would hope, in all honesty. The first issues, even if they do well, the second and third issues have not been doing as well. And I'm hearing some rumbles that after the big name artists are gone, a lot of people are saying that they're going to be dropping the title, which I think sucks because a couple of them are actually very good. Okay, Damage and Terrifics are very good.
Mhm.
What is it? The Immortal Man is decent, and Sideways kind of on the fence on, and Silencer is okay. But yeah, it would really be bad if the Terrifics got what just pushed to the side like that. I mean, it is such a good title.
Yeah. But yeah, back to what you were talking about, Z Connection. So Eglinton did a video about this, and yeah, you basically have like Hydra supporters fighting Antifa, and it's just like, and here it comes, the absolute and total destruction of Captain America.
Soon as I saw that, I had to talk about it. You know, because in his interview, we hear Ta-Nehisi Coates, or he says that he wanted to use Captain America's voice. He wanted to find out who Captain America was rather than put himself into it. And it really does seem just like the opposite.
I'm just like, so I don't know. Anyone that's a fan of Captain America would be appalled. There'd be no way Captain America would fight alongside Antifa in his whole entire life. Like, we all know that wouldn't happen. That's not what Captain America is about. And it's kind of sad that Captain America, it's $1 billion franchise, and yet these people don't even write a good Captain America comic. They've
You mean he wouldn't? You mean he wouldn't side with people who vandalize Starbucks and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He wouldn't side with people that beat other people with locks. Practically, I don't know if you guys ever remember about that one Antifa guy that got caught when he would attack
the
people
bike lock
with
basher.
locks.
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah, like, the Coates is just I don't know who's worse, Mark Waid or Coates. Who's gonna kill Captain America? Coates.
Here, okay, you could
Captain
argue that Mark Waid is worse because we've seen Mark Waid be great, and yet he has turned to trash. So based on that, you could say he's worse. But dude, seriously, come on.
Yeah, I agree with Gary. Captain America is problematic.
Oh yeah, there was a video. Umbrella Guy made a video recently about these people that always want Captain America and Bucky to have like some gay relationship together, and then this woman's like saying, "Oh, it would be so great if they had this relationship." And I'm like, okay, so you want to see these guys have a relationship, and then you want to take everything that's
they
good
already
about
have a relationship. They're friends.
Yeah, they're best friends.
Also,
Do you guys remember the "Get Cap a Boyfriend" hashtag that was going around when Civil War came out?
Wasn't that circulated by one guy who was like the only guy who ever wanted it?
Here's my thing about that too. When you do that, you devalue gay relationships anyway by basically turning them into just fads and novelties. Oh, wouldn't it be cute if this guy went out with another guy? Like you devalue the seriousness of these relationships.
Yeah.
And turn them into just like cheap novelties that like people
come on.
get off to.
We all know gay people aren't real. They're like unicorns or dolphins or something. It's a figment of your imagination.
Speaking of, where's Unicornalicious when we're talking about this? Also, Rex brings up a funny point. Not funny, haha, but funny, true. Captain America would be the guy who would be standing between the alt-right and Antifa and stopping both sides.
Yeah, he would agree with both of their rights to say what they're doing, but you can't beat the shit out of somebody to support your cause.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hollywood does
that
not
reminds
understand
me.
friendship.
I know this is my mind is very weird, but this is a weird segue. But hey, Englentine, I thought of another subject for Comic Book Thunderdome if you ever do like a new season after the finale.
Yes, that is the plan. Yes.
I was thinking best dated trope of any comic from an era, from any era.
Best trope?
Yeah,
Dated
best
trope.
dated trope of
a
comic book from any era.
Oh,
I'm going with SJW from the modern era.
I would go with the tiny waist, big boob of the 90s.
Yeah.
I would go with large.
I would go with
pads.
Large shoulder pads.
Yep, large shoulder, just gigantic shoulder pads.
weird crown headgear.
Basically,
I
Rob
know-
Liefeld. That's what we're talking about.
Also, bringing up Captain America, right? Like, it's funny how these people want him to have this gay relationship with Bucky Barnes, right? But doesn't Captain America have like a daughter in the alternate universe? What's her? I can't remember her name, but she also becomes Captain America too. I think it's in like a Avengers Next comic. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Or
Well, yeah, her
recall
name's
anything like
Frida Foreskin.
Yeah.
So your daughter brings up a very good point. The whole thing with the broken spine pose, which I
Oh
agree
yes,
with.
the broken spine. Yes.
Yeah,
That is
I was
awesome
going
90s
back
trope.
when I was ranting about the new Witchblade series. I was going back and flipping through some of the old one. I was like, God damn, some of this art is atrocious.
Also, I would like to say for the record that I am also a Nazi ninja, according to Feisty.
Yeah.
According to
didn't-
Feisty fan, I
yeah.
am a Nazi ninja.
Yeah, you know what's
Is
funny
that true,
about,
Feisty fan? Is he a Nazi ninja?
Yes, elaborate.
Well, I'm not literally waiting for her to respond. You guys can keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. She replies back with "Damn Skippy."
Okay, so I am in fact a Nazi ninja.
She says, "Nah, I was trolling." But it's way more funny to say that Corrupt is a white supremacist.
I believe that what is it? We must provide a future for what is it? We must provide a future for our children and our people, or something. What is it?
I have no idea.
J-Rox brings up the time-old question: why not create new characters instead of changing existing ones? Because that would imply that people were creative.
That would be racist. If you cannot see that Captain America can be black, if you cannot see that Iceman can be racist, you're homophobic. If you think that a black guy can take his own character and his own name and be successful, you are racist, sir. They need to ride the coattails of a white character in order to be successful.
This is actually funny because I've actually always complained about this. I hate when they have minority characters linger in the shadows of white men. That's basically
that's what they did with the Falcon, making him Captain America instead of letting him be the Falcon.
I'm fine with him being, Captain America in intervals or something, but he's Falcon, and when you take that away from him, you erase his identity. Not only that, but Falcon is a marketable character in the fucking movies. So why wouldn't you want to put that onto the comics?
Yeah.
They have no understand. I don't understand the. I would think that a large corporation, a large business like Marvel would have market researchers, PR people, people who understand like just simple shit like, hey, Falcon is a marketable character in the movies. Why don't we put that in the comic books?
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, Falcon's always been known in the cartoons too. Like he's not a stranger to people.
Yes,
And,
I
you know-
actually did try to recite the 14 words.
Yeah.
Only the 14
Jeez, man.
words.
I think when we look at Marvel today, I noticed that these ComicChron numbers, a lot of indie comics are doing better than most of the lower SJW tier titles. That I've like noticed.
Yeah,
too,
it's
which
kind
I
of
find funny.
funny because I know that, let's see, we have Shadow Man. I stopped sharing my screen, but Shadow Man #1 is at 33,000, which is beating out like Invincible Iron Man and Astonishing X-Men and Old Man Hawkeye.
Red, like,
I love Shadow Man. He's my
how
favorite.
is X-Men Red doing, by the way?
Well, it was in the
X-Men.
top 10 this week. Oh, sorry, we're talking Comicron, but yeah, it was in the top 10 this week.
You know,
So is it?
I'm sorry, I'm like derailing the conversation.
No problem. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I actually read at Old Man Logan for the first time, since we were talking about Old Man Hawkeye for a second, I always imagined Hawkeye would be voiced by the guy who voices Bill in Left 4 Dead.
Okay,
That's
so
all.
X-Men Red is
Oh,
at number 22.
I'm very scattered-brained tonight. I'm sorry, guys.
It's all right.
That
No
had a
problem.
big fall. Also,
Yeah.
I am looking at the graphic novel trades of what they're doing. Another bad thing with Marvel is Marvel isn't in the top 10 when it's in trade format, though.
Astonishing.
The top
Okay.
books in trade right now, well, one of them is Walking Dead, of course.
Yeah, that one's
14,000.
constantly towards the top. That one's at number 11. And I think it
Isn't
kind of
that,
hovers.
isn't that and Saga always the only two they ever have like a consistently good week? Or at least
Shit, yeah, Saga's at 26.
really? I thought
Yeah.
Saga I thought Saga was like had a pretty solid fan base.
Yeah.
Also,
Also,
I mean,
Green
still,
Lantern.
let's see, 26 is 45,000.
Also,
that's
Green Lantern
decent for an
Earth
indie, but-
One's #2, so a lot of people must have been hyped for Green Lantern Earth 1.
Shit, I missed that. Was that coming out as a trade or?
I think
Could a
you
Green
reviewed that
Lantern
comic.
movie could a Green Lantern TV show actually work? I know this is an old conversation from the other stream, but I was just thinking, could that actually
There was a Green Lantern cartoon for a short while on Cartoon Network. It was
I mean,
CG.
like a TV, like a live action TV show. I think
live
No,
action.
I think
I mean-
the budget would be too high for that.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I mean, especially just like his super villains are all like, are they like what fucking Sinestro and shit?
There's Sinestro, and then there's other different lanterns with different rings too.
Well, and I think the only way you'd really be able to pull it off would be like with a Netflix, a Hulu, or an Amazon. Something that can actually dump money into it.
That more of a budget. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also when you do look at a lot of these comic book companies, the only way a lot of them can grow is if they adapt to like also video games. I guess you could say TV shows and movies too. And I guess oh yeah, we should bring this up. I guess with Valiant, they want to make movies obviously, and Vin Diesel talked about how he's going to become a Bloodshot, or he's working on Bloodshot. So that's pretty cool, I would say.
I think he would make a perfect Bloodshot.
Yep.
Yeah,
can see that.
I gotta
I can see
agree.
that happening.
Vin Diesel has worked hard. Like, I mean, with the relevant career he's had in the Fast and Furious movies, I mean, he's Groot, obviously, too, even though he says just one line. Yeah, I think he would do good as Bloodshot, though.
He likes comics, like the like Riddick. Riddick is a comic book character. and the Chronicles of like the Chronicles of Riddick and the Riddick
man,
movies
that
in
rings
general
a
are
bell.
they're all heavily inspired by comic books.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yes.
Riddick. I actually watched
I
that
never knew
movie
that.
recently. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I liked Chronicles. I liked Chronicles of Riddick, even though everyone hates it. I really wanted to see it.
Isn't that the animated one that was done by the same guys who did Aeon Flux?
No,
Okay,
it
so
wasn't. It
no,
wasn't anime, was it?
no, there was a live action one, and then there was a an animated movie that was sort of an in between the time that covered in between the time of Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
remember that.
I think
then-
Comics Division, you would dig the shit out of it.
Yeah, I probably would. I liked Pitch Black. I didn't get into the Riddick movies though, because
Like-
it seems like the whole Necromonger thing was kind of cheesy.
Like one thing I think you would especially like is in the animated movie, he tells the second in command for the big villain that I'm gonna put this knife through your neck, and then the dude is pretty cocky, so he's like, no, you won't. And at the end of the movie, he says, he does exactly that, and he says it too as he does it. It's actually pretty funny.
Wait, I thought like when he kills that guy, doesn't he break a teacup? He shatters the teacup and then he stabs the guy with the teacup or something.
There was
I thought
in the live action movie, he kills one guy with his teacup that he's drinking out of. Says-
Hang on a second. Rex, yes, Travis Fimmel is. I think he would be awesome in pretty much any kind of like badass lead role.
Yeah.
That dude is the shit.
I mentioned this before, but if I ever did my own MCU and I did a Captain America movie, it was an aged Cap, like one who was like mid, like in his later years, but not like at the golden years, like late 40s or something, I would get Mark Valley for him.
That's
Yeah,
an interest. I don't know if. I mean, I love Mark Valley. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see him as Cap because if you've ever watched Keen Eddie, you know, I always kind of like picture him as that kind of like snarky, kind of roguish good guy.
To be fair, my idea was kind of biased since he also lent his likeness for the reboot for Wolfenstein as BJ.
Really?
Yeah, they got Mark Valley to give his likeness to BJ.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah.
What is he? What has he been doing lately? Because like last thing I remember him doing was, like I said, Keen Eddie.
Like I said, he's probably like focused with providing his voice for BJ in the reboot as well. Like Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus came out.
Yeah,
recently?
New Colossus.
Yeah, New
Yeah.
Colossus came out recently, so I guess he's taking a break from doing that since that came out.
Okay, I have to look that up. I didn't realize
He's
that he
probably
was
I
in.
remember.
he's probably going to be focused on blending his voice to BJ if they ever do any more Wolfenstein stuff. But I wouldn't mind seeing him doing other stuff.
Another
I remember.
there's some Wolfenstein video game where I think the wife was pregnant and she beat the
No,
shit.
that's Wolfenstein 2.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, she's definitely a better badass pregnant lady than the Black Nova Corps lady from the Marvel comics.
Yeah. Actually, there was a Wolfenstein comic book that was published by Titan Comics. I was a little interested in getting it, but in the description it talked about punching Nazis. I'm like, oh, are you guys gonna kill Nazis, or is it just about punching Nazis in the street? Like,
Punch those who disagree with,
I would find it hilarious if he did either.
punch those who disagree with us.
Okay, so BJ Blazkowicz was voiced by Brian Bloom, not
Oh,
Mark Valley.
I guess Mark Valley only provided his likeness, not his voice. Never mind. Still, it's pretty cool to see because I do actually think he would be like a better like older Cap, not like a young Cap, but like an older one.
Oh yeah, isn't the Captain America in Infinity War the Captain America that was I don't know if you guys remember the Captain America storyline that Rick Remender did when Captain America is in a different universe, but he has his beard grown. Isn't it that Captain America Chris Evans is portraying in that comic book? I don't know if you guys remember it.
Is that the one where he said? Wait, that's not the one where he says, "This F on my forehead doesn't stand for France," right?
I think so. I can't remember.
That's fucking.
It was
hilarious.
it was during when Marvel decided to do their relaunch because they saw how successful the New 52 was, and then they did, I think, Marvel Now, and then that's when they did their whole relaunch of comics like Deadpool, Captain America, Avengers, and all that other stuff. And then Captain America was in a different dimension.
There was like,
You mean the Marvel 1600s comic series?
Yeah.
Oh.
All I know is Rick Remender.
I actually read
Remender
I read the mainline stuff from that universe. It was pretty good.
Yeah. That was actually a good story. I actually did like Captain America, how he was like in another dimension, and I think he was trapped there.
I think
He
that's
met
like
up with
that's like late spoilers. We might want to keep that safe for those who might want to read it.
wait, isn't
okay.
the guy? Isn't Christopher Evans gonna be in another movie about like toxic masculinity or something?
No, it's a
What?
play.
It's a play. It's it's
Yeah.
not a movie, but a play.
It's a play.
That's fucking hope.
But yeah, the one where he kind of has the beard is the Marvel Now version of Captain America.
Marvel Now. Yeah, that one.
I think that
That's
was
the
actually all new Captain America.
Yeah, that's the Captain America I noticed. I thought Chris Evans was portraying as in that particular comic book in Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, when Winter Exile mentions like it in the new Colossus that BJ's wife is actually there's actually seen it in 2 where BJ's wife is actually topless and covered in blood firing 2 machine guns. Freaking sick, man.
Yeah, my wife really liked that game. I tried. I mean, I like the New Order. I thought that was pretty cool. But I got stuck at this one part, and my wife is more of the gamer than I am, and I think she basically beat both games. Meanwhile, I didn't finish the first one. So next Hellboy movie is going to get into the toxic masculinity thing. I heard about that, Nerdrotic. Why?
Seriously?
It's not.
Why would they do this to Hellboy?
I don't care for this Hellboy because it isn't a Guillermo del Toro movie starring Robin Perlman.
I don't even. Here's one thing I don't get. Like, why are we rehashing something that happened like 2 years ago? Maybe it's because of the Me Too thing. I don't know, but it's kind of ridiculous that they're doing this with the new Hellboy movie.
Well, that happened before the whole Me Too thing.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, why are we rehashing this something from 2 years ago unless they're bringing it up because of the Me Too thing?
What?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, why are these industries wanting to cover the Me Too movement? Isn't it bad enough we saw what happened with that one stream, Bully Hunters, when they were trying to?
Oh, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
I was thinking.
dude,
I was like,
I mean, I'm not trying to throw everyone off.
I was like thinking with how much of a fiasco that it was. Hopefully, other companies are going to realize that pandering to this kind of demographic isn't going to work. I mean, I doubt it, but hey, as long as it's a start, it can be something.
Well, I think the reason why is because if you ask Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn, harassment makes money.
Huh.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty
just
much
be a professional victim.
that's basically it. Yeah.
Oh man, I have such a small bit of information and related to one of my streams that I learned that would actually be perfect for the video game violence stream you and Nerd Rage are going to have comics. If we're still
Yeah.
up for that.
We're gonna
Yeah,
try
when
at
it
some
comes-
point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when
Nerd
when it comes
Oh,
to
I'm-
all this bullying and all this other stuff, don't put a one-sided opinion about it. That's what they did. And you talked about it on Twitch TV. You want to talk about toxic masculinity and men dominating spaces? Yeah, see how well that goes for you on Twitch TV when their whole chat was just trolling them.
Yeah.
That was
Actually, Supergirl finally came back on the CW after its hiatus, and one of the things that kind of stuck out to me, it kind of got under my skin. Carol's sister ends up going to Jean and his father's apartment to have like a housewarming party, and they were like sitting down about why they decided to disguise themselves as black men and how it must be hard to even, and because back then they were even oppressed by whites because of the white Martians and stuff. It was cringy. I won't lie.
Oh God.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was
this happened in
subtler than
Supergirl?
I'm making it out to be, but it was like, man, your whole lives you must have basically what the gist of it was like, man, even nowadays you guys must have been oppressed by the whites. It was like, oh, shut up.
Anyway, sorry. As connections, any other Comic-Con stuff you want to talk about before jumping into Stanley?
Yeah,
yes.
I was just gonna say, I guess we could talk about Move the Needle a little bit though. It just kind of shows, I think with Move the Needle, we saw how successful diversity in comics Indiegogo campaign is going really well right now. And it's pretty impressive right now, I must say. And also I was gonna say I know I heard that Ethan Van Sciver was gonna do one. Was it for Cyberfrog or something? Or I heard something about
He's
it.
gonna do a cover.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. He's doing a cover for they
he
hit
was
their
gonna do a
stretch
cover
goal.
for Jawbreakers though.
Yeah, like one of
Yeah.
our friends actually PM'd me and like Dalton and a couple of others saying we should probably like cover some web comics since we freeze of access and like judge and review like newcomers to see if they have potential.
Have you spoken to Dalton recently about it?
Not recently. I've been focused on a lot of other things like my 3D modeling and stuff.
I get a lot of webcomic requests, and
I've actually wanted to go back and review this one webcomic that I read a while ago called
Let
Boxer
Angleton
Hockey.
finish his thought.
Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
go
Go ahead.
I get a lot of webcomic requests, but in the end, aside from rags, it's to the point where it's like, you don't want me to review this. Not yet. I mean, that's why I don't do them mainly, is because sorry, but I haven't seen any that, and I don't want to crush anyone. Like
that's I've gotten a few too like that where it's like, I don't know how I feel about reviewing comics by people I know and like.
That I don't have so much of a problem with, but when it comes to webcomic, this is somebody who is doing it because of the sheer joy of it. Obviously, you want clicks and views. That goes without saying, but they know that they're not going to be making a lot of money on it, but they do it anyway.
Right.
So the last thing they need is somebody to say, "Oh, that's not good," and steer people away. So I figured rather than just point to the good ones and point to the bad ones and say these are good, these are bad, I just have to step back, because in this case, it's not like Marvel. Marvel will always be there whether I say that America is good or America is bad. Marvel is going to exist. But if Joe Schmo with his webcomic comes up and you know, and I'm sounding very arrogant saying that if I say this, but what I mean is if critics look at that and just jump all over it, then maybe they will get dissuaded to grow and to learn. So I just had to step back. I mean, you know, I don't want to talk about that.
The problem is that like a lot of artists too also like look for some feedback and input, and no one ever really seems to give it to them.
Well, that's the thing.
It's like,
if they want input, if they want to DM me, if you know, or like there was one guy who emailed me with it literally was a 3-page comic, and I was like, this is brilliant, I want to follow this, and it was 3 pages.
That's
so
good.
yeah, it was really good. I'm like, holy shit, show me the rest, man. That's all I have. You've got a fan, come on. You know, it was one of those things. And if you want to email me your comic and just say, hey, what do you think, where can improve, blah blah, yeah, I'm down for that. The last thing you want me to do is to read it and just, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm going to give an honest opinion. If it's going on my video channel, it's going to have an honest opinion, whether I like it or not, because I'm not going to be lying to the viewers. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? And I know that Neurotic said the same things, like, don't do it. You know, I broke hearts at my shop. It's not fun. And yeah, that's kind of the thing too. And yes, and Marania mentions also that EVS will be doing a Kickstarter for Cyber Frog.
Cool. Hopefully.
Yeah, we saw this happening with the whole bit about him being a Nazi and everything. Yeah, we saw that this was going to happen a while back. Because
if I might mention, like I said before, but when I rudely interrupted Englentine, sorry about that.
No worries.
The only webcomic I really felt like I had enough interest to like talk about online was a webcomic I read a while ago called Boxer Hockey. It is exactly as it sounds. It's street hockey, but you play in your boxers. And I mean, as silly as a concept as that sounds, it had really interesting characters because it always focused on the business around the game rather than the game itself. And it honestly delved into some really personal stuff with the characters, like related to like their careers in the game. Like seriously, one of the main characters from and you'll learn this very early on, one of the main characters from the team that we follow throughout the series, he rigs games. Like he pays to and gets paid to like make his team win or lose in order to either get fame or fortune. Like it gets pretty deep with that kind of stuff. And I felt like it was worthy of talking about, but I'd rather save that for another time if I ever actually do videos where I review webcomics.
I don't think I could ever get into webcomics right now. I mean, I'm looking into more indie comics and manga, just anything that's good recommended though. The only comics I guess I jumped into, I guess you could say they're indie, is Power Rangers, Gideon Falls, and Rick and Morty.
I don't get that one. I do not get the love for Gideon Falls. I do not get the love for that. I read the first issue. I was like, boring. It just bored the crap out of me. But hey, if everybody else is loving it, God bless them. You know.
What's it about?
22 pages.
Wah wah.
It was only what was it, $1.99 on Comixology. I'm like, I'll just take it. It's cheap. I'd rather pay that much than $2.99 though, so that's why I got it. I do like Jeff Lemire though. I do like his writing though, and
he can be good. I'm not saying he's not. It's just sometimes.
Yes, you are. You're saying he's not good.
Yes, every book he has ever written is really, really horrible. Yes, all of them have to be winners or they suck for life. I guess. Even Alan Moore wrote Lost Girls, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
But yeah, my goodness, it's about a priest moving into a new church.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah. I remember hearing a review from a comic. What's that guy's name? Comic Underground Geek, I think. That guy. That's where I heard about the comic from.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to check it out from there on, though.
Well, that's awesome.
I haven't read it yet.
I always say if somebody has a different opinion, God bless you. Just I like to hear it. I love to hear differences of opinions, because sometimes, like especially if you're in a situation where you're reading a whole bunch of comics in one sitting.
Alexis Bounds brought up something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll say it after you.
Well, yeah, we'll get to the
Go
side.
ahead. Finish what you were saying.
But yeah, if you're reading a whole bunch of comic books at once, sometimes if something doesn't grab you right away, you do kind of lose something, or you might miss something. So I love to hear difference of opinions. I'm not one of those people who are like, you didn't agree with me, I hate you, you cuck faggot. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Okay. So I was going to say this. Alexis Bounds brought up a comic book that I really want to read called Xenozoic Tales. Oh my God. I've been wanting to read that for so damn long.
Okay, so what's stopping you from reading it?
Yeah.
The fact that I have no money.
That stops a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is true.
Yeah.
So what's it about?
Oh, basically, humanity, after they basically fucked up the planet, decides to build colonies underground, and after like 600 years, they come back up to find that the Earth is overwritten by ancient creatures, mainly dinosaurs. So society has to live with the fact that they're in a new overwritten, full of dinosaur planet. And it focuses on two characters, Jack and his girlfriend, and forgot her name. Shit. Basically, Jack's a mechanic who fixes cars and like modifies them to run on dinosaur or dung, and his girlfriend is a scientist, and they basically roam around the planet trying to help out colonies and stuff. It's fucking awesome. I really want to read it. They had a freaking awesome. You might know it better under a cartoon and video game known as Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was about to mention that it sounds a lot like Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Yeah,
it sounds like something in Pacific Rim 2 I saw.
Yeah, they made a Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is a cartoon adaptation of the comic.
Was it a cartoon adaptation? I thought it was actually a comic book too, but.
Yeah, that's Xenozoic Tales.
That would be the comic book. But I thought it was actually called Dinosaurs and Cadillacs, or Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Be right back, guys.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said, Chef Jack. Cadillacs and
my brother and my daughter are here.
Tales.
What's that? The whole family's here.
Yeah, the brother and the daughter are here. So I don't know if she's still here, but yeah.
Oh, I never got a chance to meet Chef Jack.
Neither have I.
And I'm the only other liberal here. God damn.
I mean, I'm kind of liberal, but I'm a smart liberal who knows the last stuff going on is bullshit.
I can see into the matrix.
Okay.
Frogs gay. Oh wait! Before we go on. wait! Before we go on, you'll love this. So,
all right.
Alex Jones has a radio station that I discovered by accident while I was with my mom the other day. I'm like, oh my God, is that Alex Jones? She's like, who is Alex Jones? I'm like, you gotta listen to this. The shit's fucking batshit insane. It's amazing. Then she's like, what is he saying? And she's like, and then she listens some more. It's like, so he's like anti-Trump. I'm like, no. Like, Alex Jones is anti-everything. He is so fucking insane. It's amazing. And she's like, well, he does sound insane. And, like, the whole time she's just trying to, like, process just the batshit insane stuff he's saying. And I'm like, this is amazing. I love Alex Jones.
The fluoride in the waters turned the frogs gay.
Turning the frogs gay. Like the globalist. Oh wait. There's a video with him wearing like a lizard head, like a fake lizard head, and the lizard head has like a top hat and a monocle. And the dude,
What?
like, on the opposite of him is wearing, like, a skull mask, and they're supposed to be like Obamacare, and the reptilians that created Obamacare. It's fucking amazing comics.
Yeah.
Sadly, I think my mom actually believes in the whole reptilian thing.
He's like,
Oh, reptilians.
that's because the reptilians, they have masks. Why do you think they don't? Why do you think they always have their eyes changing different colors?
Well,
That's
fucking
because
it, man. Okay, did you see like the
Okay.
footage from Mark Zuckerberg during the whole? You know,
Oh yeah, that.
I swear that dude. If there ever was a reptilian, it's probably him.
I
The
wouldn't
only
doubt
thing
it.
I could comment on the entire situation is the fact he had to sit in a booster seat. Not kidding.
Mark Zuckerberg has to be plugged in like every 12 hours or else he runs out of battery.
Maybe his booster seat was actually a wireless charger.
I know. Oh, shit, that was good.
Okay, this is great. So Trillium is asking if Obamacare was a Care Bear, which one would it be?
The dead one.
The dead one. Oh, well, according to Alex Jones' friend, it is, in fact, it was because he was wearing like a little skull mask. And then they were like, well, we're going to take care of your health care and we'll take care of everything. Yeah, just listen to the government. Yeah. Like, it was amazing. Oh, God. I can't. I know Alex Jones is fun. I know a lot of people hate Alex
moving
Jones.
right along, move
Yeah,
along
let's
here.
go.
Nothing to see here. All right, Stan Lee. It's funny because we were just talking about Stan Lee on England stream. So Z Connection, what do you know about the whole situation?
This is what I know. I heard about the document that stuff was going on between him and his daughter. But the thing I also get confused about is Stan Lee says another thing. He says, "Oh, my relationship is great with my daughter." I'm trying to understand like what is going on. I don't know what to believe with this situation. And he's also been abused apparently. People stole money from him and just a lot of stuff is going on. And then I know he made a video recently and he was really pissed off though about about articles being written about him or something.
So England, do you want to go ahead and take that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just got back from the restroom. What articles are being written about who?
We're talking about Stan Lee.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he doesn't know much about it. I've partially.
I'm trying
paid
to
attention,
understand the
so-
truth. Like,
Okay, I've been
there's one thing
following
he said.
and
Go ahead.
I have been following and doing the saga of Stan Lee ever since the first bit about him getting accused of sexual harassment. In the beginning, okay, Joan Lee dies, and he ends up firing his lawyer and his basically everybody, his support system. He fires his entire support system. He has this one guy, his name's Kia. He also is surrounded by a lot of people that came who were business associates of J.C. Lee, his daughter. One of them is named Olivares. And apparently it's this Olivares guy who, or at least they're suing him for taking his blood, for charging $850,000 to buy a condo for taking money and such.
Wow.
Now, there were accusations of J.C. Lee abusing her father, even when Joan Lee was around. She even abused Joan Lee. Stan Lee recently came out saying everything was bogus, and even though at one point Stan Lee signed a document saying it was true. So it's kind of up in the air as to what is true as far as the J.C. Lee abuse, or what is true or what isn't. But all of the other stuff, there has been elder abuse. That's one of the things he's suing for. I'm going to be talking about the lawsuit itself tomorrow, I think. But yeah, this has been a crazy ride. I'm sorry, guys, but he has one source of communication, and that's this guy Kea that's near him, the one that you hear him talking to on the second video. The one says, "Oh, and then you got the macular," and he goes, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about that." He's the guy who filmed both videos, and he's the guy who copyrighted both videos. I don't trust anybody who's around Stan Lee right now, but that's just me because I've been standing there with my eyes wide open. You know?
Yeah.
Does he love his daughter? Heck yeah. And I will he defend him against people who are saying bad things? Absolutely. I could see why he would do that. I would do that the same. You know, Ashley, she might say something horrible to me. We might get into a big old fight, but it doesn't matter. I love her anyway. And if you yelled at her the way the way that I yell at her, I'm going to go after you.
Right.
You know,
she's your kid, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got this vibe or this feeling from Stan Lee. Like, I understand when Stan Lee's in the spotlight. I mean, we always see him in the movies and out in public, whether we go to comic book conventions or wherever. He always wants to be portrayed in a positive light. He's a positive guy. I can kind of understand he doesn't like negative press, or maybe he doesn't want to be around it. That's why he was like so. I can understand he was so mad. Because, I mean, I know he's 95 years old. And, you know, I don't know if he's going through a lot of personal stuff. Personally, I mean, I have heard stories with people that go through cancer, but they don't ever tell people about it. They don't want people to know about it because they just want everyone to go on with their lives and just see them being happy and in a positive.
Val Kilmer, man. Val Kilmer, he's been dealing with cancer. And that whole thing around Val Kilmer is very weird.
I heard something was going on with Val Kilmer. I heard about.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, Stan Lee is, you know, has been pointed out, he's 95, and that dude's not spry anymore. And obviously, he's old. You know, he's not going to be with us much longer. He's probably not 100% with it, and I do think that he's probably at the stage very easy to manipulate, and there's people that he probably does trust that are using him and manipulating him, and that's the thing, which is very unfortunate.
That's sad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Stan Lee back in 2014, and you know, he was pretty old and he was still walking around. He wasn't on the scooter yet. I think that was the following year. But yeah, I mean, even then, it seemed like he was still kind of having problems, and he's very hard of hearing. You know, he had several handlers, you know, during his panel where somebody would ask a question and they'd have to repeat it to him because he's hard of hearing. So yeah, it's unfortunate. And that's being rich and famous like that. You definitely need to have someone that you can truly trust, but at the same time, it's very easy for somebody to, you know, for you to think that you trust them and they're actually manipulating and using you.
When I go insane, Comics Division is my man. There you go.
Dude, I'm older than you. I'll be going old and insane before you.
Well, you know what? Give me all your money.
My goodness. He's also been described as a people pleaser. So, you know, he doesn't like the idea of people not liking him. If this Kea guy comes in and he trusts them and he gained Stan Lee's trust, it would be a case of Stan Lee also wanting to make sure that he was happy. And if somebody's attacking him, I don't think he would believe if this guy was doing anything wrong to him. If it was brought up, I don't think he would actually believe that. But I would believe, I think that in order to make sure that he was okay with who he perceives as his friend, not his employee, if it meant pushing aside other people, he would make sure that this guy was taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got too many sharks that are just around him too much, fortunately.
This is a case where I hope I am dead wrong.
Yeah. I hope so too. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing is, you know, yeah, whether you love him or hate him, you know, Stan Lee made Marvel, you know, because he was the business guy. So that's pretty he's had a pretty significant cultural impact, obviously on comic books, and he deserves better than this.
We probably wouldn't even have Comic Cons or San Diego Comic Con without Stan Lee. I will say that.
Yeah,
I believe that. I who knows? I do wonder if he will go to SDCC. I mean, he always does, though. I'm sure it's up to him, though. I mean, I would rather have him be in good health.
Yeah, I think he's getting to the point where he doesn't need to go to cons anymore. I mean, he's done it for a long time. He just needs to rest and be healthy. If he's up for
it. I've said this before. I think this is a situation where you have the old guy whose wife is dead. He doesn't have much to live for. I'm not sure taking him away from the fans would be the best thing for him.
Gotcha.
Just because it takes away purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. That would make sense, but the guy's my 5.
Yeah, yes, and when of course, I understand he's at a point where he gets tired signing autographs. Yeah, I'm not, I don't want him to be treated like a workhorse, but I think that I'm thinking that yes, he himself would see it as it's his purpose. The fans are what's important to him.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. And, this is going to sound kind of morbid, but, the guy will probably dying, right, signing comic books because he's going to die doing what he loves. And hopefully that's the reason why he's doing it, right?
So one day he'll
not because he's being
an
forced.
autograph and then his heart will pop like a balloon.
Yeah, basically. But hopefully he's doing it because he loves it and not because he's being forced to do it. And so, he's being manipulated.
And the morbidity is realizing that if he dies signing autographs, whoever or whatever that is that he died signing is now worth $10 million.
Yeah, probably.
Because that there would be some morose motherfuckers out there who would pay for it. The very last, I mean, it's the documented last autograph.
I mean, there are people who cannibalized his blood. So yeah, I imagine there's some people who are like, "Hey, party time!"
Especially if he signs a Stan and then one that drifts off as he's falling. That would be worth a ton.
Yeah, if you're in a panel and you get to ask him a question, just remember you were that individual that got to ask him that question, and he took the time to answer it for you.
I got to ask him what his favorite flavor of ice cream was. Fuck yeah!
Oh yeah, what was that?
Fucking raspberry.
How's your father? It was supposedly in the lawsuit. It's Gerardo Olivares that he's suing for buying the condo. Is actually suing a charity that Gerardo Olivares was dealing with. If it was kept balanced in both areas, as long as you remember. So yeah, I agree with that.
Well, hopefully Stan Lee wins his cases and gets his money back. That's his money.
Yeah,
he should. And I hope to still see. Well, as long as Stan Lee's willing to do cameos for a movie, I'll enjoy him. I'm sure we'll see him in Deadpool too.
Here's something really morbid. They could just prop his body up and just have him pose in different
Weekend at Bernie's. You want to weekend?
Yeah, exactly.
Weekend at Stan's. Jeez.
Exactly. Just set him up like a little animatronic, and then whenever people walk past, some people can be like, "Hey, true believers!" and do a little dance.
Out of all the cameos he's done, I think my favorite was his cameo in Deadpool. Even though he didn't create Deadpool, I liked his cameo in it.
Yeah,
when he was at the strip club, that was the best cameo, hands down. I
like Guardians of the Galaxy too. I like the one with the Watchers. That was
when he's in space. Yeah.
Just because also we got to see the Watchers.
Oh yeah, the Watchers. That's right.
Wait, who'd you say had the best Stan Lee cameo?
Oh, I did. In Deadpool.
I know. Oh, I was thinking of the one from that unrelated that unrelated comedy about hanging out at the mall and Stanley
Mallrats.
cameoed
Mallrats.
Oh, Mallrats, yeah. I loved Jay and Silent Bob's cameo in that. Well, they're rolling in the movies. There, that was pretty good.
You gotta love Stan Lee. He's just been so everywhere, and a lot of people have gotten the opportunity to meet him. I've never met him personally, but I've like been right next to him, and I've seen him like walk past me. Of course, he'll have his entourage of security with him, though.
Right. Yeah, his handlers.
And then you fainted. Oh my
No,
god! I was right next to Stan Lee.
Well, when I was first at Comic-Con in 07, I did see, Stan Lee walk across from me. He had his security. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh wow, that's Stan Lee. He just passed by us.
I never wanted to meet him. I never wanted to meet him because I was always afraid I would slap him.
Why is that?
Well,
Why?
you're standing there, and there's Stan Lee, and you're thinking to yourself, don't slap him. Do not slap him. Don't slap him. Just talk. Don't. And next thing you know, pow. You know. So yeah, I always kind of feared I would do that. Yeah.
Are you senile? Is that what's happening right now? Are you? Is this your like? Is this you coming out as having dementia? Like, well,
Not at all. But if somebody hearing this ever meets Stan Lee, you know they're going to be like, "Don't slap him.
Don't slap him.
Don't slap him."
You know what? I'm glad I met Stan Lee when I did. Because the Englentine brainworm will not affect me.
Yeah, no, you're not safe anymore. At least 1 second you're gonna walk up to him and it'll be like, don't slap him.
I think that brainworm's going on to overdrive. I'm honestly afraid that if I end up talking to anyone in public anymore, I'm just going to hear you in the back
It
of my
doesn't
head.
matter who y'all are you kidding me? The one I'm really afraid of meeting is Jason Momoa. He's at MegaCon, and I know if I don't slap him.
Don't
would
slap
end-
him, Englentine.
Yeah, that would end me.
like he'd look at me and my body would just shatter.
There is no coming back from that one.
Yeah, that was my first thought, James Hayes, was I think at this point in time in his life, anyone slaps Stan, he's probably not walking out alive.
Yeah,
You know that
I imagine Stan Lee is just so fragile that if he were to
No, I think he's meaning the person who slaps Stan Lee might as well just die.
Yeah, I don't think they would make it out alive either.
No.
well,
Nerdrotic saying I will super chat you $100 to slap Stan Lee or Jason Momoa.
I mean, if Stan Lee, like,
I'll let you take
I
that
would
if you slap me.
I would titty drum Jason Momoa for $100. I would titty drum him. I would walk up to him and go, "Holy shit, those are real!"
Considering how old Stan Lee is, I imagine if you were to slap him, he might just turn into dust and disintegrate.
He may just.
He might
He
just
may ascend right in front of you.
exactly. He might just disintegrate and shit.
I met Dwayne Johnson when he was doing the premiere for Disaster Studios at Universal. I was on stage for that, and he came up. Oh, that was a great show, and he shook all of our hands. This man is 52 feet tall, and it is pure muscle. What you see in the movies, that is not special effects. So he comes up and he shakes all of our hands, big smiles. I mean, he's like, what you see is what you get. I swear to God with this guy. And he shook my hand and it disappeared. And I thought, I am alive because you have not killed me yet. You know, it's just like,
oh goodness.
Wait,
you could think, well, I could get away with fighting this guy or that guy. There is
Jason Momoa is Jason Momoa the guy voicing Thanos? I mean, not voicing,
No.
playing as him.
No, Jason Momoa is Aquaman.
Oh,
the
he's Aquaman. You know what's funny? You brought up Jason Momoa you know what was so crazy is when the whole Harvey Weinstein thing was happening, some people, I don't know who it was, I'm sure it was some SJWs, before Me Too and Time's Up was happening, someone got a clip of Jason Momoa when he was at San Diego Comic-Con, and he talked about, oh yeah, in Game of Thrones, you get to rape women and all this other stuff. And everyone was laughing in the audience, but you understand the context. he was joking.
Well,
he wasn't like
yeah,
serious
he did a joke.
about
He
it.
did a joke about the way that women are treated, and and that came up. And yes, it was all a joke. But actually, they're saying that might have been one of the things that hit Justice League, but it really didn't have any traction.
No, I don't believe that at all, though.
I've never heard about it until just now.
No, I
just
did
brought
hear
it up.
about it.
No, what killed Justice League was Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon was the one that's why Justice League failed. I tried so hard to love Justice League. I could not get into it. Joss Whedon just ruined everything. But
If you
then
have to
again,
try to like a movie, you don't like it.
no, I didn't like it. But all the stuff Joss Whedon has done on Twitter, the things he said, the people he associates himself with, Anita Sarkeesian, that backfired in his face, though, and that's why he gets the shit he gets, And he cheated on his wife too, so a lot of people didn't take that very well.
And then he basically blamed the patriarchy for that. That's like, it's so beautiful. No, don't take responsibility. Blame the patriarchy. It's all their fault.
I wonder if at a point some of these people have convinced themselves that they're not the bad guy in their head, so as to rationalize all the fucked up shit they do and all of the hypocritical shit they say. Because
I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, because like when you castigate whole swaths of people just because they happen to share your genitalia, like, there's gonna be some sort of moral conflict there.
Who the fuck are you sharing your genitalia with? That is disgusting.
You in Comics Division, that's who.
Mine are here. I'm not passing mine. This is not Sisterhood of the Traveling Genitalia.
And scene.
Yeah, but it's so funny though. I think Zack Snyder and Patty Jenkins have more professionalism than obviously Joss Whedon ever has. And I kind of find it funny, like they were all like favoriting articles about him supposedly getting fired or quitting Warner Brothers, whatever. I was just so happy he was gone. I'm like, who cares about Batgirl? No one wanted to see him do a Batgirl movie anyways.
I did.
I want to see non-binary quad-gendered Batgirl or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
No, when I heard he was going to take Batgirl, I thought the same thing everybody else did. Oh, okay, well, I hear he did a good job on Buffy.
Wait! I want to just tell you something that I just remembered just now. One of the SJW friends I used to have from like my old group. One of them like unironically was like, this person could be quad gendered, and I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, she's quad gendered, and I'm like, wait. Are you serious right now? And she was like,
quad means 4.
I'm like, what? Where am I that there's a quad gendered? Like, who are you? Like, these are the things I'm thinking in my head, and she's just like happily talking about them as if this is just, oh yeah, they're quad gendered. I'm like, what?
Okay, so McEnany is asking, who would you prefer to see directing Batgirl, Joss Whedon or Lena Dunham? Of course,
obviously it should be Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Of those two, I would. Okay, if on one hand, I really do want to see a Lena Dunham Batgirl because wow.
I do.
For the same reason I want America to continue. But if for a good movie, yeah, I'd prefer Josh Whedon, obviously. Joss.
Yeah, McEnany's harkening back to my video where I talked about Lena Dunham directing Batgirl.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Comics Division, tell me you wouldn't want to see Lena Dunham turn a Batgirl into like a 900-pound like Samoan lesbian.
You know what? No, better yet, get Paul Feig to direct Batgirl. He'd be a better director.
I don't know, man. I don't know which one would be a worse train wreck. No, I think Lena Dunham's movie would be worse because she's gonna try and do something like all feministy. It's just gonna backfire. It's like her whole thing with her comments about believe women, and then one of her friends gets accused of rape, and she defends him instead of the woman.
Oh,
So
that's what's funny.
she's gonna do
too.
something. It's gonna be really, really, really bad.
Like,
Oh,
what's
God.
funny too is that she's so fucking weak that after she got criticism for that, she went and just threw this dude under the bus. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's your conviction.
They always eat their own, man. They always eat their own, especially in Hollywood. It's all about rising to the top. It doesn't matter how many people you screw over in order to get to the top.
Yeah. So Eric Breen asks, since we're giving you crappy choices, what would you rather be, shot or stabbed?
It
Stabbed.
depends where.
Yeah.
If it's in the dick, no dice.
No, I don't think you have a choice of where.
Huh. Okay, if it's in the dick, shot. Because it has a chance of going through single hole. Okay, fine. Definitely not stabbed in the dick, because that can drag. And then you that would be bad. Otherwise, yeah, stabbed, I guess. It would depend on how deep and everything. Yeah, but yeah.
I don't know, man. See, that everyone's saying shot is better than stabbed. It depends on the type of bullet, honestly.
I would rather maybe get shot, and if I live to tell about it, I would be like, yeah, I got shot.
Do you get to decide what type of bullet? Do you get to decide what caliber of bullet? Or are these like no? Are these not like optional?
I honestly, I have no idea. Theoretically, I'm just gonna go with 9mm because that's kind of standard. I think I'd rather take getting shot with a 22 than getting stabbed, but my choice, I think, most likely would be to be stabbed because you are more likely to survive a stabbing than you are a shooting. And also
I'm kind of woozy here.
Oh wait, Makini. Oh yeah, I remember what Makini. Oh yeah, Makini just brought up that Lena Dunham wish she had an abortion.
Yep.
Yeah,
she did say that before.
Lena Dunham basically ruins any cause she attaches herself to.
She really does. I feel like this is
Send her to everything.
She does this, and she does this as a chance to like elevate herself and her position, and to make herself relevant. But like, she does it at the cost of whatever she tries to attach herself to.
I think any actress that supports a cause, the people they surround themselves with, I think they ruin it from just the get-go and from the start.
Send her to control the United Nations. She might save the planet.
I like Alexis' response. Well, if it's a choice between Lena Dunham and Joss, I'd pick Kevin Spacey.
Oh, God, no.
That's bad. Now, here's the real question, though. Who would you get to play as Lena Dunham, Sweden or Dunham?
Wait, what?
Who would you get to play as Batgirl?
Oh.
Lena Dunham?
Yeah. Lena Dunham stars as interacted Batgirl.
I would find it hilarious.
Hey, guys, I'm getting kind of tired, so I'm going to head off. Sorry about that.
Okay,
cool,
see
dude.
ya.
I think we're going to call it a few anyway. I'm tired as well.
Later, everybody.
Yeah, that's totally good.
Leia's corrupt. Hey, corrupt. Pimp your channel before you take off.
Oh, I'm corrupt. I roast comic books. My next roast is gonna be of Champions #1. You can find me at corrupt my YouTube. See you when you get there.
You talk about comics, nerd.
I know, right?
Wow.
Later, y'all.
Talk about Twitter like the cool kids.
Later, y'all.
Later. Yeah, I agree with you, Eric. I wish Lena Dunham would attach herself to the anti-Comicscape movement.
She'd be an interesting villain. She would be.
Mm.
It would be interesting.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to bring up? Because it seems like it's kind of dying down.
Yeah, I think we can close the stream. It's already 10 over where I'm at.
I don't want to spoil anything else because the only thing that comes to mind right now is the stuff that I do want to save for the video game violence stream. If, like you said, Corrupt is doing that with weaponized nerd rage.
Yeah, I needed to ping Rage about it again.
Yeah,
I know he wants to do it. I just know the dude's been busy.
we need to know the date.
Yeah. So, all right. So to close things out, starting from left to right, I love comics, Englentine.
Hey,
You
true
need any
believers.
introduction?
It's Englentine here from I Love Comics. I Love Comics YouTube. Going over, definitely show up for our live streams, especially on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we do Comic Book Thunderdome, pitting a couple of geeks against each other and fighting the fights, debating the debates that we all have on comic shops, comic book forums, Twitter, and all sorts of places. Tons of fun. Yep.
Cool. All right. Next up, John.
Okay. Hi, I'm John Brown. I usually go by Maxor501 on the internet. I've started doing a talk show on Twitch that you guys can catch on Thursdays at 10:30. Though I do save the streams to upload on my channel if anybody wants to check those out. I'm hoping to get 100 subs on YouTube so that I could start streaming live here as well. But that's for another time. I'm hoping to talk about other subjects other than comics eventually, but I'm always up for having anybody on. If you want to hit me up to join for a stream, then just message me on Twitter. What's it, Twitch?
Gotcha. And Z Connection.
Yes, I'm Z Connection. Just thought I'd get on stream. Just talk about recently what's been going on in comics. A lot of interesting stuff going on. You can always continue to talk to me. Feel free to tweet at me on Twitter, the real Z Connection. So I'll be there. I don't have anything interesting to show yet though, but just follow me on Twitter so we can continue these comic book discussions or just whatever. So follow me there.
And of course, I'm Comics Division. Hopefully, if you're here, you know who I am.
Your Comics Division?
I know, right?
Whoa!
You can find me on Twitter. Yeah, yeah. That's the joke, isn't it? Anyway, which is funny because when I told Feisty how tall I was, she's like, "God, you're short." She's like, "I always expect you to be much taller." It's like, yeah, no.
I was
I'm
hoping
not
to
that
be
tall.
as tall as my
That's
dad.
Snake Plissken.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, the first one, I thought you were dead. Yeah, I always thought
Yeah,
you were
the
taller.
first one was I thought you were dead, and the second one was I thought you'd be bigger.
Yeah. Okay, you can find me on the Twitters at Comics Division, comics with an X, no CS. And of course, if you were watching this means you found my channel, please hit like and subscribe and share the video if you think it doesn't suck. And as always, until next time, folks, enjoy your reads.
Peace.